Welcome back to the Average Bros podcast. This is episode 14, I believe. Um, we have two main topics to talk about today, and they're both great. But
Pretty
first
good.
off, we're going to talk about Call of Duty, we're going to talk about Major 5, we're going to talk about Halo Infinite because the first flight was this weekend.
True.
First off, how's everyone's week? Coming
Good.
back.
Fantastic.
It was alright. It was
Got
alright.
some,
It's
got some,
nice and
okay.
cool.
got
David,
some
shut
good
up.
news
It was
to share
okay.
next week.
Good
I
news to
already
share
know what it
next
is, Lewis.
week.
What?
I already know. I can't
You
tell
don't know anything.
I do though. I actually do. I got people too, man.
Homie's got sources for his sources.
Yeah, what the heck? David outsourced me. Shit.
I hit
Shit.
a
TJ told me.
milestone today, so I was pretty proud of that.
Ooh, where are we at?
300 followers today.
Heck yeah,
Hell
dude.
yeah, man. That's
So-
crazy.
We're growing.
That's
Stonks meme here now.
What are you growing into?
Probably my shoes.
A big boy. A
I'm
real
gonna be
boy.
a real boy. So yeah, go
Facial
follow.
hair, but I got baby feet.
Go follow. Twitch.tv/MrDurwood. Subscribe if you can. Are you gonna do anything? I know you did your 24-hour or your 12-hour
It
stream
was not 24.
for 100 followers after you got to 200 followers. So what are you gonna do for 200 and 300?
Probably stream like normal until I get to 500.
Fair enough. You got a goal for 500 or you're to be determined?
My goal is to reach 500.
That is the goal. Oh,
Okay. Do you have? I don't like you.
A sub
A
goal.
celebration is probably going to be.
Yeah. What are you gonna do when you hit 500?
I don't know.
Amazon
I'm
big.
debating on either doing like a charity stream or like a giveaway of some sort.
I got the perfect charity for you.
Is it the David Needs Money Fund?
Yeah, it is.
Damn, I thought it was gonna be a real one.
Be like Get David a Champs Fund.
Help
I like
me
the
and I'll
charity
help the
idea.
other people.
Yeah,
I
get
think
David to Champs Fund.
Dude,
That's gonna be my
the-
charity stream.
A charity stream would actually be like lit, like a real
Yeah,
charity stream.
I think that'd be good.
I would
That's a good
It's
definitely.
idea.
crossed my mind.
Be
It's
down
still
to
a
help
ways
with that
away,
if I
but
could.
we'll get there.
Yeah, I mean,
You
it's
never
gonna
know,
come
bro.
sooner than later,
I swear
man.
you were at like 40 followers like 2 months ago or something.
It's been a little over a month since I was at 50 followers.
Yeah, that's nuts.
You want a microphone?
Yeah,
Fucking-
we all have those days, David.
It happens with age.
It happens.
Oh my gosh. I feel like, I kind of feel like David might have had the most exciting week out of all of us.
Probably true.
Would you
Very
like,
historic for David.
Why? I was in Texas.
Yeah. I mean,
Witnessing
Fun
history.
things.
literally
Witnessing one of the greatest
Call of Duty
comebacks in esports.
comeback in history.
Yeah, I was ready to go to sleep.
Literally, like a top 5 esports comeback easily.
So we didn't
yeah,
talk
it
about
was
it last
cool.
week because I suck at being a host, but David actually got to go photograph the Major 5 for Florida.
Yeah.
And then they were eliminated, and then you just went Saturday, correct? Like just to go, or did they ask you before you went?
So I just went because I drove 3 hours to go down there,
Yeah.
and then I was like, I'm just gonna shoot. I still have the team pass. I was like, whatever. I was like,
Cool.
why not take advantage of it?
Yeah.
And then Roger from OpTic DM'd me on Twitter and just asked me if I could shoot their match against. Was it Seattle? Was that the first match they played? Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Well, it was the second match.
Was that OpTic's first match though of the weekend?
No,
OpTic's first match
it
of
was
the
the second.
weekend was against Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto.
Yeah, which
Round
they
one.
lost, and that would have been
And
on
then Seattle was their
Thursday.
second match. Seattle was their first match with the fans being there, I believe.
Yeah, so it would have
That's
been
right.
the Seattle
So
match.
first match of the Saturday,
Yeah.
Sunday.
So yeah, it was Seattle then. So yeah, then he just asked me to photograph them and for that match for that day, and I was like,
Friday?
yeah, it was Saturday. I did it.
Yeah, okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, so I got to do that on Saturday, which was really
Dude, you
Yeah,
got
took
some
dope
sweet
pictures.
shots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're really
Yeah.
fire. I was debating on making some wallpapers, but I might need the full res.
cool. Flores, yeah.
You're gonna have to sign copyrights.
I have some noise in them
David.
though. That venue's dark.
David Sandman.
Yeah,
Venue's
dude,
very
it looks super dark, especially because the ceilings are so high and there's like not a lot
Yeah,
of
there's no
no crowd
ambient light
light.
anywhere.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
nothing. Yeah.
yeah.
No,
Yeah,
dude,
it was really cool.
it was sweet seeing pictures back on the timeline, like from events. Like,
Yeah.
not to
It's
gas
been
you up
too
too
long.
much, but like you really do
No.
you capture that, man. Like it's sweet
Oh
to
yeah, you
watch.
kill it.
So like the Friday I got there, I was very nervous. Like I was texting my girlfriend the entire time because
Mhm.
one, I just have really bad anxiety, which
Right.
I talked about. But so I was supposed to meet up with Florida at noon, and so I met up in the hotel lobby. Only two of them are down there. Like, and one of them is a coach, and another is like a player.
Who's their
Mm.
coach?
And then, well, they have two coaches. I don't know his gamer tag, but his name's
Rick,
Rick.
is it Atura? Yeah.
Yeah, Rick. Rick
Atura?
is one, and then they
Yeah.
have another one named Will.
Will's the one I don't know.
And I think he might even be like a sub.
Okay.
But I'm
Oh, wow.
not sure. But he was like analyzing, and I think he's new to the team. But
Oh, he was just announced. True. Yeez or
Yeah.
something. No,
something like that, yeah.
am I tripping? I might be wrong.
His name, like, he just goes by Will.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know. I don't know. But so we were supposed to do like a photo shoot, like group photos, individual photos, like just whatever. And I went and walked around and scouted like locations and everything because I've never really done that before. And I was like, I want to do this perfect. I don't want to
Yeah.
waste their time. I
Yeah.
want to use like a 30-minute period and just get it done.
Yeah.
And then they didn't show up.
Of course.
They didn't show up. Like two of them showed up.
Did they say
one of them was
anything?
So I worked with a social media guy, and he was like, "Yeah, I told them. Like, I told them yesterday." And one of them was slept in. Another one was doing like had to get a COVID test because every pro and crew had to get a COVID test before they can go into the venue.
Oh wow.
Which is I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
I didn't.
You're just walking around.
What
Really weird. So yeah, they didn't. So I didn't get to do that, and I was really bummed about it because I felt like that was a big part of like what would have been posted on socials,
Yeah.
and it just would have been cool to have because I don't ever get to do that with teams.
Yeah.
So yeah, they didn't show up, so that was scrapped. And then they're like, "Hey, we'll just do it after the match." And I'm like, "What if you lose?" And they're
Yeah.
and so the social media guy was like, "All right, if you guys lose, you have to do it. Have to do the photo shoot." And sure enough, we know what happened. They got reverse
Oh
swept and lost
no.
3-2. And I
David.
told the guy, I was like, "Dude, they don't have to do this. Like, it's not a
All
big
sad,
deal.
like yeah.
I do not." And then we go back to the room, and they're just like, "It's up to you, man. If you want to do it." And I'm like, "Don't put this on me. You
It's
guys
for
didn't
you
show.
guys.
Yeah, you guys didn't
Yeah.
show up. Like,
It's
I
like
don't know.
it's like content for them too. Like you're
Yeah.
Yeah.
photographing for them, so like that's on them to decide.
Yeah.
That's rough.
So
I wouldn't.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It was an awkward situation to be put in, but at the same time, I was like, "Dude, you guys got
Bodied.
bodied."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Don't worry about it. Just go."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I think some of them went home. We couldn't have even done it the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I think the only one that was at the venue was Skies.
Yeah.
He
I
was
saw
the
him
only
in
one
the.
at the
I saw him with Hook. They're
Yeah.
like eating popcorn or something,
Yeah.
chilling. That was actually kind of cool to see. I saw a lot of like. I don't know if the pros had like a section or something, or like crew and pros or whatever had like a section, but it kind of looked like it because they were all kind of sitting near each other, like the coaches and stuff.
Yeah, they have
Especially
like
the teams that were eliminated.
they have kind of like a thing, which I'm sure you've seen at like MLG
Mhm.
stuff. Is like they have it like gated off
Yeah.
with like ropes or whatever.
Yeah, it was cool to see that kind of stuff back again
Yeah.
too.
For sure. And they even had like a content creation room for like content creators, I guess, that were there.
Oh,
But I didn't
That's
see any.
nobody went. Just no one shows up.
Yeah.
Interesting.
How was shooting for OpTic on Saturday?
So
Well, yeah, you got to
Saturday-
see a victory, right? On that.
I did. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's good.
I
You're
was
1 for
very
1.
I was really nervous.
Yeah.
Like, it's mainly because it's OpTic,
Right.
and I don't know. I just don't. You don't want to mess that up, and I think I messed it up. So.
No, no.
Oh, with your dude.
Nah,
I'm
dude.
telling you.
didn't-
That's
you didn't.
not even a big deal.
I will never tweet that picture now, ever, because they're gonna be like, "He tweeted it again."
You might have to.
The
You might
bastards.
have to explain
He's
that
never
real
used our
quick.
face.
For those that aren't in our group chat, basically, what you got a sweet shot of Hex that you really liked, and you tweeted it out.
Yeah, I tweeted it out because and I told Roger this, but I tweeted it because I was like, "Oh, I messed it up," because it was meant to be directly behind him while Hex was on the
Yeah.
stage looking at the crowd, and yeah, I didn't I didn't get it. So I was running up there while he was coming back. So I just snapped a quick picture, and
Oh,
so
okay.
it's him walking past me, and the crowd, like, it looks like shit, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But they were like, "Hey, is there any reason why you did that?" And I was like, "Oh, well, that's why." And I told him why. I thought it was
Mhm.
I thought it was a shitty picture, so I was like, "I'll just post it." And he said something, like he said a quote, which if they posted it, they wouldn't have had that context.
Yeah.
So I posted it, and all he said was, and he said, "That's how it's done."
That's awesome.
Oh, like as he was walking.
Yeah, because he had the crowd freaking
Yeah.
the hell out.
Did he say
Yeah.
that like to you?
No, he just said it.
Oh,
He
I
just-
got you. That's amazing.
And I don't know. I thought it was a really interesting moment, and I was like, the picture
Yeah.
sucks, but that's an interesting thing.
Yeah. It's like one of those. It's weird because it's like esports, and it's not like that serious, but it reminds me of like those historic moments where like there's just like a random picture, and it's
Yeah.
kind of like maybe there's like a subject in the foreground. It's kind of blurry, but it's really about like the moment that was
Yeah.
captured, not so much like the composition and all that. And
Right.
I don't know. From a photographer's standpoint, subjectively, if I would have taken the picture, I probably would have been like, "Yeah, this is bad." But from like a fan's perspective, they'd be like, "Damn, this goes kind of hard,"
And
because it's like blurry and then it's hex. Like
Because
the
there's context behind it.
the
There's
intent
meaning.
almost. Yeah,
Did
exactly.
they end up
There's
tweeting
more.
it
It's
out?
more than just a picture. It's an actual
Um,
story in a picture.
They
Yeah,
didn't tweet it out, but he said they would have.
they would have.
Well, that
Now they
sucks.
didn't. That's
Yeah,
whatever.
so
I think that's pretty reasonable for you to think like, oh, it wasn't a good picture. Like, oh, I didn't get the shot that they wanted, therefore I can use it. But I don't think that's blowing it. I think if anything, people would be kind of forgiving, like, oh, he used it, like, whatever, can't use it
yeah.
anymore. I bet. It's all
And I
good.
mean, they
It's like
used like pictures of yours and like because I saw
Oh
you were
yeah,
tagged and stuff. Like how crazy is that?
yeah,
That's
that's
awesome.
fire.
yeah, my
Yeah.
phone will.
Still going off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I've been tweeting clips of Lethal
Oh, it's good.
playing Infinite, and my likes keep going up.
Dude,
I just
I
keep
have
doing it because
to.
it's funny, like little funny like tags that I keep popping in during a stream. Anyway,
Dude, honestly, you honestly have to mute your stuff.
That's
If you
crazy.
get any kind of like
oh
OpTic,
yeah,
you literally have to mute it. It's just my phone.
it's just dying.
Dude, that's actually
But
awesome.
it was really cool. Honestly, it was cool to follow the team. Like, it was cool to follow Florida too,
For sure.
but like they don't have like the prestige of OpTic Gaming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
not.
And
It's not.
a lot of those guys too are relatively new. Aside from Havoc, I would say he's
Yeah.
like their only like veteran player, like who's
Absolutely.
been playing more than 4 years or something. But
Yeah.
like Skies, Awakening, and I mean Neptune,
Yeah.
those guys have only been around 2-3 years. Like that's still a good team though. In my head, I like the team just because of that, because they're like pretty. They still have that rookie vibe, kind of like Rokkr, I guess, like with Major Maniac and well, I guess they have two vets with like present attach.
Yeah.
Never mind.
And
Scrap it.
accuracy was
Scrap
on
the
there as
idea.
well.
Scrap the
but
idea.
that's
Never mind.
That's idea.
No, you got
uh,
some sweet
But it was really
shots,
cool.
man.
for sure.
It was cool. And after that, they didn't ask me to shoot Sunday.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I just kept shooting for myself then.
yeah.
No,
If
that's
anything,
I try not to be like annoying. Like, so if I
yeah.
did shoot, I wasn't hovering around teams or something. I would
Yeah.
just
Mm.
I
More
would like
for your
I would hide in
portfolio.
corners and you know.
Yeah, to not get in the way as much as well. I assume.
Yeah, and I don't want to be like, why is this dude following us?
True. I don't know. From I guess from an outsider's perspective, like me not ever having done something like that, I would assume that you'd be okay to do stuff, or just like if you're confidently moving around, I bet people wouldn't bat an
Oh,
eye.
yeah.
But
for
like
sure.
if you're like, oh hey sorry, or like, oh hey sorry, oh hey sorry, like which I assume you weren't. But if that was like the other extreme, is like you doing that, then people would be like, dude, what the hell's up with this guy?
Tell,
Or like
tell
if
him
you're
to get
like,
the heck out of the way. Just
yeah,
There was one instance where I guess like the player relations employee, like manager, I guess.
Mhm.
She did tell me, she's like, "Are you shooting for these teams?" And it was while Toronto and Rokkr were doing their vetoes, and I
Mm.
said, "No, I'm just standing here. Like, I don't," because they were filming it, like they were filming the vetoes,
Oh,
and I was like,
Mm.
I don't want to walk past the camera. I was just trying to go get my backpack. And she's
Yeah.
like, "I can't." She's like, "I can't have you hovering around the team." I was like, "Oh, no, I understand that. I don't want to walk in front of their camera."
Yeah.
That's
I
it.
assume every like I bet you everybody was put into like a weird situation because of COVID guidelines and
Yeah,
how like fickle that situation was, especially with like photographers not being tested as much, and like all the people, like
for
teams and
sure.
coaches are tested. So it's like very thin line where they don't want to like put them in a bubble,
Yeah.
but also having have your freedom of movement to
And I think that they're trying to make that, like, I think they were trying to make, like, essentially the stage a bubble.
yeah, right,
Like the stage and then back.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
every team was in individual rooms
mhm,
and you were required to wear masks at all times.
yeah.
Things like that.
I
Yeah.
did see people in the crowd not wearing masks though.
Oh, yeah,
So
there's
I
been
saw
a-
the
Oh
chin. I saw
yeah.
the chin mask thing
For
a
like
lot,
just
but
1 year, that was really
yeah, yeah.
yeah, there was a bunch of people like that guy that I cropped the picture of the one Bash took, or you posted, David, like I found you, David, and then
Yeah, I
there's that
saw
guy in
David
the
on the
corner.
broadcast getting a
I saw
picture of
So
a
y-
guy.
the
so
guy
yeah,
making a funny face, and I
so
took the
yeah,
picture of the guy making a funny face.
that did happen a lot, but also like, and I'm not trying to defend not wearing a mask because you should.
Yeah,
That shit burns, like, dude, my ears. Oh my god,
it hurts
my ears were
after
really
hours.
Rubbed
yes,
raw.
yes,
Dude,
Yeah.
I shot a few weddings
they were rough.
like in the latter half of the whole pandemic.
Yeah,
And dude, I wore masks up until like the most recent one I did. I didn't wear a mask, but I wore masks to like maybe 6 or 7 weddings,
yeah,
and dude, it would hurt so bad. Like the next day,
yes.
especially, like, oh man, it was
It
just
leaves
my
like a
ears felt
sore
bruised.
right
Yeah,
behind the ear. Yeah,
it was pretty rough, especially for
but
like 8 hours a day. You're like, dude,
yeah.
it's torture.
That,
So I
that's
don't I don't
why
blame them.
I wore the neck sleeves for a long time, but I know they weren't really like recommended
Oh yeah,
as a
the things that
mask.
you pull
Yeah,
up.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot more comfortable. I'll put it that
Yes. I
way.
I wear them when I go fishing and whatnot as well. So
Efficient, comfortability. That's still pretty awesome though that you still got to shoot
No,
for
that's awesome.
OpTic and you got to see their one win against Surge. I was actually pretty surprised. How do I say that? I wouldn't have been surprised if Surge won that match, but I was glad that OpTic like what is it? Kept their consistency and beat them, and then went on and beat Dallas. Like that was really really
yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
Seeing them fall in third is like kind of heartbreaking to like from if you like watch like their process and how they've been doing, but it's still like their greatest feat this season. Like
Yeah.
they haven't gotten third since last year, since champs.
yeah.
So
Because
it's
I think they showed it on the broadcast. They got like fourth,
yeah,
fifth, fourth,
And then
fourth.
fourth,
yeah,
Yeah, like
and then
that's
third like you're going up.
Yeah.
At least you didn't do the face thing where you won, second
and then you don't
1-1,
series that made it.
eighth, like
Dude,
double
that's so
double rounded.
crazy,
Like
dude.
yo, yeah, that's crazy.
I'm just afraid that Minnesota's roller coaster ride has reached its peak and that it's going to start falling back down at this point.
That's the thing,
I
Darren,
don't
is
know,
I
dude.
was
After
thinking
seeing
that in the
that,
finals. Yeah, I was
I
thinking
don't
that in the
know.
finals when they were down 4-0. I was like, wow, Rokkr really just
Yeah, that's the
I was gonna
bottom
use
of
the
the
very
roller coaster right there.
yeah,
dude.
but then
And it
they
just
won
went
5 straight.
straight up.
Yeah, yeah, and they won 5 straight. So it's like Rokkr did the unexpected the whole weekend,
That's so
literally,
crazy,
like
dude.
through and through. Like no one saw anything that they did that coming. Nothing.
Well,
The match
that's
against FaZe, the match against Dallas, the match against Ultra in the winners finals,
yeah,
and
the
then the
winners
match.
bracket even like it
Dude,
was a 3-0 Ultra. Like
yeah,
Minnesota
They
won
beat
against Ultra 3-0 and they played them again in the finals and
they
beat
beat
them
the
by
top three
one
teams
game.
in the game,
Yeah.
yeah.
and they beat
It was
them like none of them went to a game 5. Like
I was at my
except
girlfriend's
the
house and
last
we were
one
just
went to a game 9.
chilling and I was watching that match and Rokkr started winning. And I'm sitting there looking at her going, they're winning. They're winning. What's going on? They're winning. And the last match, I was like, it's like 5-1. I'm sitting there like waiting. The dogs are asleep on the bed. And I'm like, they won the final round of that search. And I was like, what the? Yes! And the dogs woke up and got all excited. And I was, I feel bad now. Everyone is so comfortable.
Yeah, dude. People are gonna be talking about that. Like they're gonna analyze that for
yeah,
years,
for a while.
years
Yeah.
and years, and years.
That's I mean that
Dude,
is probably the greatest comeback I've seen in like
Dude,
you know what's
It's the greatest
crazy? There
comeback
was a
I've seen, but that's not saying
they
much 'cause
got
I haven't seen a whole lot.
demolished
yeah.
4-0, dude.
Yeah, I didn't see. I haven't watched a lot of Call of Duty. I actually started paying more attention to the competitive side like 3-4 years ago. But I saw a cool post that someone shared about Attach and how he's been part of like the greatest comebacks in Call of Duty. and it's just they're all reverse sweeps in like crazy moments like this. Like every time it's like a playoffs, and like I guess in Advanced Warfare he like did it twice. World War II, he was part of that phase team that basically broke up the OpTic dynasty. Because if OpTic, it was like an event where if they win those playoffs, OpTic probably stay together because they won. But they got second and they were done. And then that's when OpTic like did terribly the rest of World War II. Like, I don't know, man. Attach is crazy. I'm surprised more people don't actually talk about him up until now. But I've always thought that. I've always thought like, wow, he's like really consistent with whatever team he's on, like da da da. And this season he was like doing pretty good, especially in the most recent showings up until this major, and then the major. Like, I thought it was kind of unfortunate that he didn't get MVP because Standy did play really well, but Attach has been so consistent. So is
Yeah.
Priesta.
In
They've
their
been that whole team's been pretty.
Well, even if
pretty
you think
lights out.
back to like stage 2 when they were playing OpTic, and in that last search round, Attach got that crazy 3-piece to win
that was
it.
accuracy.
Oh yeah, that
Was
was
that
accuracy.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
that
thought
was
that was
accuracy.
Attach.
And then he didn't do anything
Dang
after
it.
that and got benched.
Yeah, got benched.
Yeah.
And then they
So-
went
I swear that was Attach.
Looking
but-
at the like the overall for that series, Attach was
Mhm.
plus 16. Everyone else on his team was like -1, -1, -3 overall.
Standy had over 100 kills, but he also had like well over 100 deaths too. Like
Yeah, he was 124 and 125.
see what I mean?
But looking
Dude,
at Toronto,
decent.
Insight was
Kleenex
a
did
plus
bad, right?
41. Plus
Kleenex did really
41.
bad, right? Or no? Did Kleenex do the worst or
Kleenex
Bance?
was -23. Bance was -26.
Yeah,
which is
dude,
not how those guys normally perform.
No, dude. I was watching Kleenex that whole in the matches, even against like OpTic, and he didn't seem like normal him. Like it was so weird to see, but like he was like playing really, really weird, which is crazy because
Shit.
that dude has been lights out since he joined this team. you know?
He goosed the search.
Which
he goosed
one?
Miami search.
Dude, that's
He goosed?
He goosed 0-7.
Wow. I didn't know. I didn't know he goosed.
I
That's
mean,
crazy.
he was
what?
he was bottom
that
of the board
search-
every single game that they lost.
What happened?
Sandy went 12-4 on that search, I believe.
Yeah, he did.
Dude, I'm telling you that they just something happened in the back of their head and they like
Sandy
yeah,
went
just
12 and
shut
4
down.
in Miami search, and then Raid search to end it. He went 12 and 5.
That's insane.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
He just
Yeah.
switched. Like those first 4 matches, he was getting walked on, which is where all those deaths came from. And then the
Yeah.
last 5 matches, he was super positive every single game.
They were like,
Mhm.
"Hey, you want to keep your job?
Yeah.
Win this series."
Probably
Dude,
threatened
that
him
is
with his career.
crazy.
I think aside from Rokkr doing the unthinkable, like that whole this whole weekend, another I think the second biggest surprise for me would be Surge.
Yes.
I think the 3-1 against Paris, anybody could have kind of guessed that.
Yeah.
I guessed it perfectly, got full points.
You did
It's not
actually call
important.
that.
With the Ravens, I actually had them going to game 5, so the 3-0 was actually the second least expected thing that they did. So 3-0ing
First being the next.
because Ravens got 3-0'd by OpTic, but I remember every single one of those matches maps was really, really close. So I was like, wait, these guys aren't terrible. And then they played against Surge, and again, the maps are all really, really close. Just Surge kind of closed them out. And then the next match after that was against FaZe, and game 5, they kicked their. Was it around 11 or no? Or was it a mop? I don't remember. I don't know if it was like a 6-2 or
I
something.
don't
or-
remember either.
yeah, it was either a 6-2 or a map or round 5 or round 11. But dude, Surge was the second biggest surprise of that tournament, and I like that a lot of people were rallying behind them for a few different reasons. Like the fans and the crowd were more like, "This is why every team needs to be at champs because things
Yeah.
like this could happen at champs now." It's less likely to with only 8 teams. Like it'd be cool to see a bottom 4 team make a run because
Yeah.
that could happen easily. EG won World War II season,
That's
and
true.
nobody saw that.
Nobody
coming.
at all.
No
Even-
one saw that.
Even non-Seattle fans are rooting for Seattle because everyone loves an upset.
Yeah, of course.
Straight up. Like I'm
Yeah.
a Rokkr fan, and I was rooting for Seattle all the way through that. Like
Yeah.
when they got to FaZe and beat them, I was like
Dude, yeah,
almost
that
as
shit-
hype as I was for the Rokkr win.
Oh, I was
I
getting
love-
The whole thing. It was
I
insane.
love
Yeah.
when Crostini plays varsity. I love
Dude,
Yeah,
it.
that he's
yeah.
undefeated against him. Isn't that crazy?
crazy.
That's the craziest thing. He's undefeated against him,
When
which is
they
crazy to think
crowd-
what teams they've been on.
The crowd
when-
literally roars like, "You need him! You
Yeah.
need him!"
Oh, they were saying that. Oh man.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
how about
when
the chant after the the Empire OpTic match?
OpTic.
was it something appropriate to say on here? What were like was a bad
Nah,
chant?
they were just chanting Crimsix sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I was
Dude.
listening in on that, and I was like, oh
Couldn't do
boy,
it, man.
something
I
bad's gonna
couldn't.
happen.
I couldn't
Mhm.
handle that.
Dude,
No.
it's a lot. It's a lot of pressure.
It's nuts.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
an
you saw
insane
the
amount of
dude. You
pressure.
saw the Ultra guys when they got reverse swept, man. Like,
Yeah,
I think Cammy was in tears, bro. Like,
I'd be in tears, bro.
yeah,
Yeah.
bro,
Yeah.
that's devastating.
They were all
That's
sitting
literally
there holding their
cr-
faces, and I was
that
like,
is the
I would
worst
be
thing. That is the worst thing that could happen to them.
I'm
I
gonna
would
go to the
rather
bar.
get like, I would rather just lose like 5-3, 5-2.
not
Shit, I'll take
reverse
5-1.
swept when you have a 4-game lead.
Yes.
You only had to win one.
Yeah, and you
had to win
couldn't
one. You couldn't close it out. No ice, unfortunately.
against the
Honestly,
man Sandy himself.
David, I think it's
Mhm.
your fault, to be honest with you, because you did say I need Rokkr or I need Ultra to go ahead and win this last map because I still have to drive 3 hours
I
to
want
get
to
home.
go.
And
Dude.
then it was like
I
2
said
hours
something
later.
about like, oh, reverse sweep incoming. You're gonna be there all night.
If
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
have to, if I didn't have to like drive home, then yeah, I would have wanted
Yeah, for sure.
like Rokkr to win.
Yeah.
Because
Everybody wants a good series.
because the whole crowd was on Rocker's
Yeah.
side,
Yeah.
shouting like Team USA and shit.
Oh my god, of course.
Oh, jeez.
What else was I gonna bring up
Wow.
about all that? Oh, I think another big surprise from this tournament was Dallas getting fourth after they had just gotten second at the last tournament.
Yeah.
I think them also losing to Rokkr and then losing to OpTic, like it's pretty rough. Especially because I think they only won 2 maps combined, right? They got 3-1 against Rokkr and then 3-1 against OpTic. So they only really won 2 maps, and they beat LA Thieves, but those guys have been in their
Yeah,
own
That's the other roller
whirlwind.
coaster of the league.
Yeah. I think this sets us up for fun champs because it really sets the precedent of like who knows what the hell's gonna happen. Like who knows who's gonna win. I don't know if you guys did you guys see the bracket for that or no?
No, I have not.
I caught a
was trying to
glimpse
look. I
of
was
it.
trying to look for it
For
earlier.
champs?
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
Yeah.
champs.
Yeah, I've
I
got
caught
it
a
right here.
glimpse of it.
Yeah.
FaZe
You,
is still in first. Believe it or
you should
not.
share it to the group chat so these guys can pull it up if they haven't seen it.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't. I was trying to look for it this morning.
You know, it's funny.
Last
Yeah,
second.
you're right, Darin. FaZe is still in first, and Rocker's place didn't.
No, they didn't move.
nothing,
They're still in
nothing
sixth.
moved.
But
That's what's
still
crazy.
winners bracket.
Yeah,
Still winners bracket.
Um,
But
Which is
I'm
funny.
a terrible Minnesota fan because first round against FaZe, I had them losing
Yeah, and
3-0.
no,
And they
that
got.
doesn't mean you're a terrible fan. That means you're realistic.
I told it's like I told Lewis.
No.
I'm not statistically stupid. Up to this point, that would have made sense.
Say that 5 times
No,
fast.
I think the 3-1 that I had in my bracket made a lot more sense than your 3-0. That's why I was like, dude, I gave them a map. I was like, they've been playing okay. I was like, they haven't been terrible. I was like, they could take a Surge, a Hardpoint, or the Control.
But
like,
I was
can
taking
see
the way FaZe had been playing online, not on LAN, and I don't know if that made any difference at all.
Yeah,
But
guess you're right.
Rokkr just showed up to play,
I
Yeah.
can't lie.
and play they did.
I need to look. I had FaZe 3-0ing them as well.
Did you send us the bracket?
Yeah, I
Ice, or
sent it
no?
in the group chat.
Cool. Let me
Dude,
pull it
so
up.
wait, Mutineers will.
Yeah. Wait, no, wait, what? I forgot.
Okay. I just dropped my controller. Hold
It's good to see this.
So looking at so if you look at winners round 1, it's OpTic
Yeah.
versus the Blinders.
Yep.
I think OpTic will win. Just let's say they do.
Right.
New York goes down. They play Mutineers again. New
Yeah.
York has been the ones who've knocked out Florida out of every major.
They're 5-0,
Oh
right?
my
Or
God.
aren't they?
Dude,
I
next
think
game-
Yeah,
David, I heard a stat like that. I think on the broadcast after
Yeah.
Mutineers lost is that they have not defeated Subliners yet. They're
Haven't,
5-0
dude.
against them.
And they're the
No.
ones who usually knock them out of the major.
that's the bane of their
crazy.
existence right there.
But that's like
Yeah.
that was OpTic versus Dallas too. So I mean, hey man, if
That's
there's
true.
anything to take from anything and learn any lessons, like look at that series.
Yeah.
Do your best.
Well,
I think
it's also cool because it is a rematch, and I mean, you did go up 2-0 up on them. Like,
Yeah.
just finish it, bro.
yeah, literally finish
Honestly.
it. So okay, so we're thinking OpTic subliners, you gotta lean OpTic. Empire
to.
Rokkr, gotta lean Rokkr, right?
at this
It's
point, yeah,
Empire's shot. It's
I would
Empire's shot to get revenge, but
Dude, I think
and
Rokkr
it's
could beat
after
God
a
at this point.
3-1.
Listen.
Yeah, they're
listen. I haven't seen in the last two World Championships shots he's been in. He hasn't lost.
This is true.
That's true. That's true.
The last two World Championships in 2020 and then in 2018, he's undefeated. He's 2 for 2. This is his third.
That's actually a
getting
funny. That's
to
actually
the
a really
World
funny stat.
Championships. Yeah.
Does Shotzi show up for the squad and just throw everybody on the backpack, or is COD not that kind of game?
He's like, screw it, I'll do it. I'll do it
I'll
myself.
do it. I'll do it myself.
Yeah, yeah.
Shotzi is otherworldly though. Watching him play is something else.
Honestly,
He's nuts, dude.
I could see Empire, dude. I could see that going Game 5 and chalk it up to whoever, because the way
you could see the whole like stadium go crazy too. Like your previous major champions getting knocked out round 1 or getting
Yeah.
sent to losers round 1.
yeah.
Yo, where's the predictions for champs? I wanna set my bracket up.
And then
Yeah,
It's
Thieves should
available.
play subliners. You want to give that to Thieves, right?
I think Thieves beat whoever they play.
Ooh, I like that. It's a good one.
Honestly.
Yeah, I think those guys come in fired up and hot. Same with Empire. I think they come in fired up and hot.
So whoever loses the OpTic subliners match plays the Mutineers, and then
Yes.
Empire
Yeah.
Rokkr plays Thieves.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then whoever wins OpTic subliners plays FaZe. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I think OpTic has a better shot.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And if Rokkr loses and they play Thieves, you still think they lose to Thieves, David?
Oh no, I do. I think Rokkr. I think Rokkr.
I was gonna say I could understand that because the momentum would have been shut down at that
I
point.
don't know
but
though. Slasher,
Dude, it's just
like he's really good on LAN. He's
And
really good on LAN.
Yeah.
I can't lie. I don't know any. Like, I can't picture in my head how any of this is gonna go because the teams you think should win FaZe literally didn't win a single like.
Yeah,
series.
after
Series, yeah.
stage 5, anything's up in the air
Yeah.
because anything just happened. You
That is
can
so
pick
true. Literally
whatever,
anything
and it would
just
still be
happened.
logical.
Like Rokkr
Yeah.
was trying to hold on to winners bracket, and then they win the whole event. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
In
I
the
don't,
most
I can't,
insane fashion as well. Like it wasn't even
Yeah.
just like they showed up after a win streak to win. They like had
There's-
everything against them in that last match.
There's a crazy statistic about in Call of Duty specifically about teams that won playoffs that went on to win champs. And I don't think it's too consistent. I think only like 3 out of like 7 or 8 teams, or 4 out of 7 or 8 teams have done it.
like E United was the last one to do it.
Yeah, E United, I'm pretty sure OpTic Gaming in IW is like Freako Impact. Like those, I think pretty sure those are the 3.
Yeah.
And but up until literally the majority of the time, the people that win the playoffs, I think more often than not don't win the champs. But I mean, it's still there. It's still possible. The odds are
The thing is,
against you,
can't,
but not by much.
like, in my head, I'm like, oh, like Minnesota isn't that consistent, but like they just won the tournament. You can't just like knock them
Yeah.
out because of that.
The
They
thing
went-
though, I
They
think
went 3-1, 3-1, and then reverse sweep, which
So I think the
Nobody's
thing to
coming.
take away from Rokkr, and I'll give you guys an insight into my bracket and how it's going to be laid out, is that they didn't show the dominance that like a FaZe showed, but not a lot of teams did though. Not a lot of series were 3-0. A lot of them were 3-1, especially in like the top 4, top 5 conversation. A lot of series were 3-1. Like for example, this was something I noticed in OpTic versus Empire. OpTic took against, I think they lost the search, but they won all the respawns, controls, hard points, 3-1 them. They're out. Ultra versus OpTic, it was the exact opposite. Ultra won all the respawns, and OpTic won the search. So I think now you're getting to that point where people are really understanding everybody else's game plans, and I think people are going to take note of what maps Rokkr lost at this event and really try to work for that. If that is like an Empire, for example, because that's their first matchup. I think they're really going to prepare for Rokkr. And Empire too, man. They got second at the major prior to this one. They only got fourth at this one, which really isn't that bad. I think Empire has a really good shot to take out Rokkr, but Rokkr can do anything they want.
But at this point, what do you think Rokkr's going to go home and practice the maps
Yeah,
they
those-
lost.
Yeah.
So what do you think they're going to get better at? Is the ones that they lost.
They're probably
So,
gonna go home and practice
as,
starting quick.
as the decider for that like empire at that point, are they going to pick what Rokkr's going to go home and practice? Or are they going to pick something
What
that
they're
might
already
throw them
good at.
off? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you still have to pick your best map, honestly. Like,
But yeah,
pick
I
what you're
think they'll
good
pick,
at. That's
like
what
you're saying,
the good
pick for
teams would do.
themselves, not pick against the other team.
Yeah, honestly, I wish I knew. I wish I'd ever spoken to like a pro player or like a coach and discuss like the
A
pick and ban
strategist.
process.
I would
Yeah,
love to see more behind the scenes of that.
Dude,
yeah,
that would
because
be
like
insane.
I think it's tricky because like you don't want to play them if one map is your best map but it's their best map. I think that's like a no go because it's just like, well, we want to give them a map that they're kind of okay on, but we feel
Yeah.
very confident in, you know. So it's super tricky, especially into like a champ situation. I would love
Give me
to
a little
see
bit.
like what people's thought processes are.
Do you what do you see for phase in the champs bracket here? Are you predicting like that was the horse noise? Are you predicting like a major bounce back from the devastation that happened, or are you thinking
Okay, I'll
they're
put it
gonna
this
come
way.
back and like clap everybody?
I'll put it this way. OpTic hasn't been good in the winners bracket side of things. Right away. Usually their first match doesn't go in their favor.
It's been like that for years, by the way.
Yeah, no,
Like,
they
they
always
always
come
lose
out.
on Friday in pool play.
They always come out slow. However, I think against FaZe, they've beat them once, and which was one of their biggest opponents, I guess you can say. I mean, FaZe is everybody's rival, really. You're gunning to be able to beat a FaZe
If you
team.
beat FaZe, it's huge.
Yeah. So I think them beating FaZe and then soon after beating Dallas, I see them going into this with a lot of confidence, but still, man, it's still FaZe. Like they're
Yeah.
still good players. They choked super hard in playoffs, but that's like the first bad event Simp and Abizi have.
Yeah.
in their pro careers, at least. Like they placed top 6, I think, at some point, like during with the United, I think in Black Ops 4 early in their careers together. But I don't know, man. I think that's also. I mean, that one, like the Empire Rokkr match, I think it goes game 5. It could, dude. It could literally be a 3-0 one way or a 3-0 another way. I don't know.
And if Rokkr wins that one, they go on to play Ultra, and that is going to
I
be
want that
the
so bad.
rematch of the century.
Oh,
It's going to be like
that's already your champ. Yeah, that's already your finals right there.
because Ultra won stage 2, like the whole bracket, and
Yeah.
Rokkr didn't really do much until stage 5 against Ultra.
Yeah.
So I think Ultra has a lot of redemption and possibly like not hatred, but like fuel for their fire.
Yeah.
Like they want to come back and bounce back and
Oh,
beat the crap out of Rokkr.
You don't think they're done?
No.
With champs being literally in like 2 weeks,
I don't
not
think
like
any
a
of
couple
these
months
teams
away.
are done.
No.
You don't think that loss is gonna like cripple them?
No. You don't
Vance
make
is
it
about
to
to
the
go
pros and
meditate,
being
and he'll
crippled
be
by
good, man.
losses.
Bro, he ain't got time to meditate. Champs is in like 2 weeks, bro.
He's gonna do his breathing
Basically,
exercises.
you basically got like 1 week.
Somebody's gonna walk into his room and the controller's just
Like
hovering.
if champs was like in a couple months, I'd be like, oh yeah, I don't know, dude.
Yeah,
You
if they
think
had
2
more
weeks is
time to
too
prep.
soon?
Yeah, I think they're broken, bro. You ever heard
I
that
don't know.
Evanescence song? I'm broken, or whatever the hell.
I don't know how to feel about that. Actually, I think. I mean, oh shit, man.
It's if they can.
I think
put
it's
it,
lightning is literally like
There's too much to think
lightning.
about.
Lightning can't strike twice is what I would be telling myself in their position. They've won a major. They're one of the 3 teams that have won a major, and they've made it to finals. I think twice, 2 or 3 times now. I'm not keeping track, but they made it to the finals 2 or 3 times. Like they're still there. They still got it. They just got to remind themselves that, and if they can do that, I still don't know how that match goes, but I think they'll keep it competitive. I don't think Ultra get like. Oh man, then this might jinx myself in the future, but I don't think they get double swept out of this tournament. I think they could lose to Rokkr, but then they make a losers bracket move, and then I don't know. You could still see them in the finals. Like
I
Yeah, bring it back into the
yeah,
I think it's
championship
all
match.
about remembering
I don't know,
that
man.
Major 5 is not champs. It's all about
Yeah.
champs.
Yeah,
You
and
can
you
say
are
we
those guys.
lost, but
Yeah,
it's all about champs at the end of the day.
yeah, man.
These champs brackets can literally go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like,
And this
there's-
was almost unbelievable. Like they gotta remind themselves of that. Like that is unprecedented. Like no one could have ever trained you for something like that. You know,
If any of the
but
5 teams that haven't won a major that are in champs win champs, they're not going to care they didn't win a major. And vice versa.
Oh,
If any of
dude.
the 3 teams that won a major don't win
Yeah.
champs, they're not going to be like, well, at least we won a
Yeah.
major.
Dude,
It's
this
all
is
about
also
champs.
this
no.
is also
Yeah, you're
COD
right.
champs in 4v4 on LAN. Yeah, dude, people are gonna go hard. Like the last 2 years have been 5v5s. Last year was
Online.
yeah, also just purely online champs. Like, bro, this you haven't had. I think World War II was the last 4v4 COD we had, and that made that that shit was crazy.
I don't know.
It's gonna be wild, man.
Very much looking forward to it. That is in 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
3 weeks.
So book your ticket.
August 19th to August 22nd.
Yeah,
I
I'll book my
want to
ticket.
take it. I honestly want to get one.
Do it, bro. Sell your car.
I don't need to.
Easily.
I
The-
don't
my-
think I'd get enough to cover a ticket if I sold my
Yeah,
car.
my truck is not worth enough to get a ticket.
But we can move on from that, and we can start talking about our other topic for this week, which is Halo Infinite.
I don't know if I want to.
The flight was out this weekend.
Whoop, whoop.
I believe you guys all 3 said you didn't get to play. I know, David, you were invited, but you didn't get to play.
Yeah.
My stupid ass didn't sign up until like almost the very end. So
Lewis, you didn't get the invite, or
I didn't get an invite.
Okay.
I signed up, but I didn't get it.
okay?
How dare they?
Yeah, dude, I was
Dude.
shook. I was like, what the hell?
I
You
was
literally
able
shook
to
hands.
play.
consider you all my friends.
It's
I
like
was-
you don't understand. I've held the world's ring, the OpTic Gaming World's
Really?
ring. I've held it in my hand.
Bro.
I need to be in this flight.
Oh, that's funny.
You
Yeah.
understand who I am?
Yeah, I think. Wait. I think we should get everybody's like first takeaways, like maybe like 2 or 3 things you noticed, like
You guys
from
go
the flight
first,
itself.
and I'll talk about it because I did actually get to play it some.
Nice. Should you go last since you actually got to play it?
That's
And
what
we
I'm
just
saying. Yeah, I'll
we're
go
just
last.
Twitter fingering over here. All right.
Or you
go,
want me?
David.
Unless you want me to go first. You guys go. You guys go.
David sounded like he had a hot take. I want to start with the hot take.
I don't have a hot take.
You said you hated it, remember?
Oh,
David
yeah.
was at an event all weekend.
I mean,
True.
it looked cool. So wait, what are we doing?
That's
Or
it.
just 3
Just
quick little
takeaways.
things we
Just like
noticed?
anything you saw that kind of
Likes,
Um,
dislikes, whatever.
Don't like the medals. Don't like that at all.
Mhm.
I saw a tweet where it was Mikwin. He grabbed OS and clambered, and it canceled the animation.
Oh,
While he's doing OS, he jumps and he clambers, and it
Yeah.
cancels it.
That's not
Yeah.
fair because Mikwin's on the pro team, so he's just been like, he's like,
So I thought,
he's
I
been
don't know,
learning
like,
that.
he asked for that. He asked
Yeah.
for it.
it's interesting. And then I don't know how I really feel about player outline.
I've heard, yeah, I heard a few mixed feelings about the player outlines too, like how they could be
mean,
OP,
I guess it's not even that. I just like I'm talking more like that. There's no more red
red,
versus
blue. Yeah,
I think that's it's like Call of Duty. Call of Duty does that
Yeah.
because it's now. I mean, they never had red blue, but
Yeah.
you had like red names and blue names or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it is kind of weird. It does take away from like the sentiment that they've been preaching of like what is it? What is the thing they keep saying? Legacy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? It does kind of feel like it takes
I
away
don't
from
know.
that.
I feel like the red versus blue thing is so iconic, and I
Yeah.
don't even necessarily hate. I don't even hate the fact like that they're doing that. I think it's cool that I can be my tan colored Spartan in multiplayer. It's cool,
Yeah.
but I just maybe make it more visible to see
Yeah.
the enemy team, like a more bold red outline or something.
Yeah, that's
No.
where the red versus blue was the best, is you
Yeah.
could see it. It's not a natural color like
Everyone's gonna
Yeah.
be switching
green
to
or-
like dark colored armors now to hide.
Hiding in corners. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I was saying an easy counter to that, and I mean, obviously, like, you know, as a Halo player too, I think
X-ray vision.
yeah, as it'd be cool to see the red and blue, especially because you're right. Like it's not Halo has never been like a COD kind of game where you just. I mean, I remember I used to do it in COD where I'd put on like cold blooded as one of my perks, hide in a bush, have a ghillie suit, and then just YY so I look like I'm not
Yep.
there because I'm
Yes.
completely immobile, and unless you go directly over me, you won't know that I'm there at all.
Yep.
I don't think Halo. Obviously, I don't think the maps are built in that way. You can also, adjust the brightness settings and things like that. But it doesn't feel too Halo-y to take that out. But you're 100% right. I like the fact that you can customize your Spartan and then
Yeah.
enter the
I think it's
fray with
cool.
him
Yes,
completely.
absolutely.
Because I like that about Reach in the campaign. That if you customize your Spartan
That
and you
was
were
the
playing the
best part.
campaign,
That was so cool.
it was your Spartan, and you're like, oh shit, this is sick. Like,
Yeah.
made you feel like
I-
you were actually a part of the story.
I like that to an extent as well, but like if you're playing team versus team, like you
Yeah.
have your custom Spartan, but if you get into that team as the blue team and then the red team, it should like automatically default your colors to mainly blue and then
Mhm.
like the opposite team to mainly red. That way there's no like
Yeah, like Halo
extreme
5.
variation. Yeah.
Yeah.
What if
Extreme
you could?
variation in the teams.
What if you could do like Rocket League, where you have
Yeah.
you have your orange team and your blue team, and there's variations like between yellow, orange, and red for the red team,
And then blue's like blue,
and
purple,
blue's like
pink.
blue, purple, green.
The thing too, though, is like, I mean, if you want to play with that, right? Can't you just make it
It's all
that?
gray.
Right?
Everything's gray.
I mean, right? Like, isn't that like the thing too? Like, if you want to make the blue outlines and red outlines, you can
Yeah,
do that.
you can
can't
change the colors of the outlines to whatever you want. So I think
However,
Snakebite
the
had
armor will
yellow
be.
and for enemies and blue for teammates.
Yeah, Lethal
long
was
as-
playing with purple and yellow. I was like, what the? I had no
Yeah.
idea who was who for a while.
I didn't switch any of that
Vikings.
stuff.
Minnesota Vikings, go Vikings.
It's definitely Laker colors.
It kind of reminds me of like when you play like free for all.
Yeah.
Because in free for all,
Yeah.
everybody's like you're your own.
Your
Spartan
own
and stuff.
Spartan. That's where I was thinking like
Yeah.
the full customization would be nice, but like
Yeah.
I was saying,
Tip-
if you go into the teams, is it still going to be like the full customization shows up,
Yeah.
or is it going to be like the blue and red? And
I was
it's full custom.
I was playing a lot of, or I've been playing a lot of Valorant, and like since it came out, and
still haven't tried it.
that game also doesn't have like outlines, like the teams, and in the UI you see I think it's green and red. But in game, when you see an enemy, the only thing that strictly points them out as an enemy is the fact that they just don't have a name or anything above their head.
Yeah.
Whereas your teammates have like at least like a little icon, so
Yeah.
easily you can tell like, oh, green icon friendly, no icon not friendly.
Also, too, this might even sound like a little like stuck up. Maybe think about it in the like in perspective.
Wait,
Oh.
David, wait. You moved your mic
is-
and something happened.
Yeah.
I think
now?
it's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're good.
It like
gonna
was
hold
cutting
it.
out. You're good though. Yeah, go.
But no, so like if it's 4v4, if I know where all three of my other teammates are, anyone else I see is obviously an enemy.
Yes.
So, I mean, if you look at it from that perspective, then it wouldn't be difficult.
Yeah.
But that's if
True.
you think like that. I don't know.
True.
But also, I haven't played the game, so it really may not be even that big of a deal.
Mhm, True.
I definitely.
Darren,
Oh, yeah,
things to
Darren.
take away. Wait, because you actually played it, so you're going
Yeah,
last.
sorry.
Yeah, Bash.
You wait. No, I was only able to watch a little bit of a good friend of ours stream it. Twitch.tv/Operant Power. Shout out to her.
Shout out.
Shout
Shout
out.
out Opera.
Miss
I was
Power.
watching her stream for the first time in a while, and she couldn't really get into any like matches, I guess is what you call them, but she was doing like the barracks training
Mhm.
kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Shooting
Academy.
range.
Yeah, and I was just sitting there like kind of watching her, and the movement seems really smooth, but they're like the voice that calls out. I'm a fan of like the nostalgic old Halo voice. That voice isn't in this one,
Yeah.
and it kind of upset me a little bit. and I
Wait, what are you
wanted to-
talking? Wait.
Are you talking about the multiplier announcer?
Yeah, like
double
the
kidding.
metal.
He's in it. He's in it.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't
In
know.
the
what
actual
is it like
multiplayer.
In the
customizable?
academy, it's like a different voice.
It's a
I think.
Spartan.
It's like
Oh,
like,
okay.
trainer
Yeah.
So
or whatever.
yeah, I wasn't able to watch any like gameplay, so that's that.
No,
I'm not
yeah,
sure
yeah.
what all there actually is.
No, yeah, you're good.
But
Also,
yeah,
was she playing really quick? Was she playing on Xbox or PC?
I think Xbox.
Oh, okay, for sure. Just curious.
But yeah, I wasn't able to watch a whole lot.
Mhm.
But that's basically the summary of what I gathered from it. Was just it like it looks clean.
Yeah.
But I wasn't able to like look into any of the customization. I didn't have time to do any of like research or anything. I've been busy. So I don't have
Facts.
much of a
Yeah.
formed opinion.
I feel that.
So there's a lot that I took away from it, and I didn't get to play a lot, probably like 10 matches, I would say. First off, the menu music when you load it up is like the first time I played Halo, I'm just like, oh, this
That's
is
what
gonna be good.
I've heard the menu.
Like as
music is
soon as
really
that menu
dope.
music hits, you're just like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, like we're back.
I love when
Goosebumps.
I love people posting the clips of the menu music, like on Twitter, because I would just sit there and like let the whole thing play through,
Yes.
and then like go to
So
the
I
next
got
one.
I would just fire up the stream and let the menu music play. I
I'm
wouldn't
pretty
even
sure
care.
you can go
Go work
into
out.
Yeah.
the preview still, and all you can do is sit in the menu, and it just says you're not authorized to play this, and
Oh,
like
Actually,
you just
still
hear
nice.
the
haven't even
music.
seen it.
I would
I
just
haven't listened
fire up. Okay, 24-hour stream coming. It's just gonna be the Halo menu music, and that's it.
I looked at the customization stuff, but when I looked at it, it was kind of glitching out. So every time I'd click on something to change it, all my options would disappear, and then they wouldn't.
And you were playing on
reappear.
Xbox?
I was on Xbox.
Xbox One,
Yes.
X, or okay,
Just the original Xbox One.
gotcha.
Which I mean, I get it. It's bugs. It's techno
Yeah.
preview for that reason.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to give people, if they're
Literally a
listening
demo.
and they, yeah, because
Yeah.
it's like 3 different platforms that it's on technically. So I just want to give people like an idea of like where you're coming from. Does that
Yes.
make sense?
So the first thing I really noticed
Mhm.
when I got into the game was the movement is like it's fun. It's like it seems very. I'm trying to get the right word for it. Like it's fluid. Like it doesn't feel.
That was the
clunky.
word I was thinking.
Like
I
it
was about to
doesn't
throw it
feel
out.
clunky.
If you took longer,
Yeah,
I was gonna say fluid.
my biggest struggle was trying to figure out what control scheme I wanted to use, and they do have even on console you can customize your controls completely. You can do your own keybinds,
Cool.
which is nice.
I like
It's
that.
actually dope.
I
like
just
that.
was head casing like don't want to play like Call of Duty where I'm aiming with the left trigger, but that's also my grenade button in Halo, so that really should be like.
I think it's also the move in Halo to do left trigger grenade or left trigger ADS. I'm pretty sure it's like a lot of people use that.
It's
That's what
like
I
The pro
saw
it
with
level
just
at
felt
least.
weird. It just kind of felt weird a little bit, to be honest with you.
Oh,
But
okay.
um,
Gotcha.
so
I don't like
I
it
went
either.
back and forth. Like I swear, every other match I used different controls. The bots themselves, because it was except for 2 hours last night, which I didn't get to play. It was all team of 4 versus bots, and they upped the
Yeah.
difficulty of the bots each day. I didn't notice a huge difference between the first 2 days. I didn't get to play the third day, but the bots were like, I mean, they were hard, like
Yeah.
at times, and it didn't feel like you were playing bots most of the time, which was kind of nice. Like
Yeah, that's cool.
like you get hit with like crouch strafes, and you're just like, what? Wait, what just
Yeah.
happened? I
It's one
did
of the
see a
it's
few
Nick
clips.
Wynn sitting on the other side.
For real, I did see a few clips where like the bots would kind of glitch out, and all 4 of them would turn the corner at the same time. And for
Oh, that's
some
funny.
reason, that's like the funniest thing to me, because like
Imagine.
it's like 1 versus 4, and the guy streaming
Yeah.
is just like what,
Yo.
and just dead instantly.
Team
Yeah.
shooting. It's
That
all
was
about
like-
team shooting.
The
was like-
glitches in the technical preview
Yes.
have been hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah, that's like a splice level teamwork right there from
Yeah.
2018.
Yeah.
Just
I
running around
do
together.
think aiming is interesting to me. There's not hardly any aim assist on controller, which makes the game very difficult for someone that's used to good amount of aim assist. But I did
Mhm.
notice like I was getting better as I played it, which is
Do you,
exciting.
do
to
you
me.
think that's gonna change though, like the amount of aim assist? Do you think that's gonna be a common issue with people?
I don't know, because they did announce that they're going to allow uh, mouse and keyboard and controller players for competitive.
Having
Mhm.
said that,
He baited you.
aren't they gonna? I did not actually. That was an accident. Are they gonna like separate mouse and keyboard players in like the competitive playlists, or
So I have a thought on that actually.
you don't have to
So
raise your hand. This is the classroom.
so thank you, teacher. I
You're a
um
grown man.
I think they're gonna let that go. I think it was probably a thing at first, and then they were just discussing probably like in order to get the who told someone told me this. It might have been Maddie. Maddie is very smart. He told
Man,
me that
what
they're
happened
trying
to
to
that
make
guy?
the game be bigger in Asia, particularly because it's a huge market in esports. I mean, you see
Oh, yeah.
Korea and what they've done. You see China, you see Japan, even like in a lot of these tournaments. Korea specifically, but
Yes.
um, a lot of them play PC games and they play a lot of mouse and keyboard. I think in order for them to have this game have a bigger reach, they really have to do MNK, but they want to be true to the controller players because they come from Xbox. and they just literally just this year they announced that they switched to PC, or maybe even it was last year or something. But competitive is going to be on PC. So I think they were trying to do the best of both worlds and be like, okay, we're going to have to work really hard on balancing controller versus mouse and keyboard. How do we do that? The only other game that has successfully done that, in my opinion, that you don't really hear many complaints about, um, is Apex Legends. And actually, I used the wrong term there. I said they're going to try to make it like an even fight. It's not really true, because in order to do that, you'd have to buff controller, because I think mouse and keyboard would have the advantage in most situations, because it is harder to aim with your thumb, especially me, because I have double jointed thumbs, so it's harder to move. I it, you're at a disadvantage versus mouse and keyboard. So I think having just a little bit of aim assist, but not too much that people are like posting clips about magnetism and like, dude, this guy's not even moving his controller and it's just following him. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. Because Fortnite had that really, really bad for a long time, and I don't even know if they have it right to this day. But Apex is a
Any
game that
consolation,
showed it's
I
possible.
suck at Fortnite, so and I use mouse and keyboard, so I don't think it helps me at all.
It does. It is a little bit of consolation.
But
you
I
see,
did have
like,
another
yeah.
question
Mhm.
regarding what you were just talking about. Coming to esports with them,
Mhm.
do you think they're going to just strictly stay with the controller for the professional players, or are they going to like build another category for mouse and keyboard and like
Oh
have
no, they
No, they've
not
already
announced.
battle each
announced
other,
it.
but oh,
They've
That's
announced
what
it
I
already.
that's what Bash was talking about, is that it's
don't
gonna
read
be
stuff.
both. Yeah, you're good. So I don't know how that's gonna work, to be honest. If First of all, I think, dude, I don't know, man. It's hard to say if it's gonna get a lot of traction, especially right
Frosty
away.
hates the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
and I
so
don't know
I
why, because he's like he plays mouse and keyboard, and a really good example of both sides of this is somebody like Baby J.
Hmm.
Top 6, I think his best placing was probably like top 6 in Halo 5, but he was trying, I think he was like semi-pro or something. He was like reaching borderline pro, whatever that meant in Halo 5. And then he gave that up, became what is it? He was on the pro team on 343 and worked a little bit on Infinite, I'm assuming. And then decided to give that up in order to go pro in Valorant last year. He made it. He's on
He's
phase
on phase,
and
yeah.
they
Which
don't
is
look terrible.
crazy. Bro.
Yeah, and he plays mouse and keyboard, and he played controller at a really, really high level against like world class players, basically. So to me, it's doable from either angle you want to play it. I think it just goes to what you're comfortable and what you think you compete at the highest level.
I think it just has to be viable for both. Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
Do you
and
think mouse and keyboard players have an advantage or a disadvantage over controller players?
depends on
I
what
don't
they're
know,
doing.
man. Macros are crazy.
Like
But I mean,
sniping.
you see Snipe Down in Apex, and dude, that game's hard. I play on PC, and before there was crossplay, dude, the ranked was so much harder on PC than it was on Xbox. Even when I was grinding with a controller, it was so difficult. So the fact that he does that and he does it consistently,
Hmm.
different type of game. I get it. It's not an arena shooter, but it still shows that it is possible to compete at the highest level with controller. However, I think the odds are against you, because you could do so many inputs per second on like a
Yeah.
PC, and you have so many more keys, and you have a whole arm to aim with. Like,
And confirm, I played on controller for the first time in almost a year this weekend because I didn't have my PC with me, and I was garbage.
I do think,
well,
especially starting out, a
I'm
lot of
always
it's
garbage though.
going to be the pros are going to be fine. I think because they have the knowledge. They are Halo
yeah,
players, and
yeah,
and I don't care what you came from. You're not going to be able to come in and just dominate immediately.
Yeah. It's not just about movement and shooting. It's
yeah,
about strategic gameplay and like map
yeah,
knowledge and how to play as a
yeah.
team as well. I get that.
I think veteranship will definitely take charge in at least in the first bit of Halo Infinite and competitive. Um, it really depends on the game, and if people really enjoy it on mouse and keyboard, and they think that it's like consistent and it has like a certain something about it that is really enjoyable to play, that will guarantee mouse and keyboard players really taking it seriously enough to compete in Halo versus controller players versus like a Sen team that's going to be probably all controller, if I had to assume.
Hmm.
So I mean, I think controller will dominate and will be the majority, at least for the first year. I think after that, depending, on things lining up for Infinite and how the devs actually treat the game, which was what I was going to say about the flight is that it looks like a pretty solid game all around. I think all the customizations and all the communication between the devs and the community from here on is really going to show in the response from the devs and how quickly they react to certain things being changed. So, say we see the next flight, and then the next flight you see the medals are changed. Say they're a little bigger. The UI has shifted a little bit. Maybe they move the gun from the bottom right to the top right where it's been. Things like that would really show a lot of like what is it? I think it's called quality of life in a design term. So I don't know. I think the game has a lot of potential. I think mouse and keyboard players will eventually make the jump later on if the game is something they
Good.
want to take serious.
Another thing I would say, and this is more for the esports side of it, I think it's going to be BR starts because I mean, obviously we didn't get the full weapon, like we didn't get all the weapons, but the pistol they have, I don't remember what it was called.
Psychic.
It felt like the Halo 2 pistol, to be honest with you.
A lot of people are saying it was like a mix between Halo 2 and Halo 5. Like a mix of the two.
It just seems like it takes way too many shots, and it's just it's more about you can fire it really fast. So if you get a guy weak, you can pull it out and pop, 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 pop. I mean, it's as fast as you pull the trigger, the gun's gonna shoot. You don't have to pace your shots like you did with like the Halo 5 Magnum.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's like the Halo Reach pistol. Halo Reach and Halo 2 is really the pistols I would use to describe this one.
The Halo 3 pistol was kind of similar, I feel.
Dude, no, Halo 3 pistol is garbage.
That
Way
thing
worse.
was slow as hell, wasn't it?
It's so dumb. It did nothing. It did nothing to you.
Didn't you weren't you not able to like zoom in with the H3 pistol?
The Halo 3 pistol, no, you could zoom in with it.
No, you could.
Or
No, you couldn't. You couldn't zoom in with most guns in Halo 3.
Yeah, there was a lot
just
of
the
like
BR and the carbine.
If you zoomed in, it was a binocular.
Yeah, and it would zoom out as soon as you shot.
Yeah, that's because ADS in Halo is dumb. That's a whole other thing.
It's all integrated into the hood.
I do have to get going here in just a minute, but
we can wrap up.
All in all, I had a lot of fun. The games I played, I had a blast. I'm looking forward to the next flight. The vibe that I got from every single person I read comments on Twitter, on Reddit, on Twitch, watching them, everyone was like, "This is fun. This is great.
Yeah,
like this is gonna be."
They were happy to have Halo back.
Yes.
You want to know what I think? Partially, what it was. We were so mistreated during Halo 5. Heavy aim was never fixed. Servers are pretty like average. Things just went really bad. And then after that, and then Infinite got delayed. Like our expectations and our excitement went down to here. So when we were given a product that was clearly up here, even in a crappy little beta, everybody was like, "Holy shit, hold on." I was like, we weren't ready for it to be this good. we had some memes in the back burner just waiting to be launched.
That's what game developers are going to have to do is like design a crap game and get everyone's expectations really low. And then come back with the next game, and it's just like it's the next level of the game.
So basically the opposite of what Activision and Call of Duty do.
Yeah,
they promise this huge game, and then it's like, we sold 1 million copies, but the game sucks.
Eventually everyone's going to get adapted to that, and then they're going to come out and not say much about the next game, and it's going to be huge.
One thing I just remembered, you can drop your weapon in Infinite.
I actually like that a lot.
Super good.
And
I like that in game.
Okay, you start with an AR and a pistol, and I don't know how many times I would try and switch grenades, and I'd hit the wrong D-pad, and I would drop my AR, and I wouldn't realize it. I thought I accidentally switched weapons, and I would be shooting with my pistol. I'd go to switch, and I wouldn't have another weapon. I'm like, what? And I would die.
Yeah, I love that mechanic, man. From being like a console kid, jumping into Apex and being able to do something like that. I don't know if in PUBG you could do that, but I feel like you could. And then
you can
now playing Valorant, and then it's just like a norm in CS and Valorant and stuff like that. Like to me, I love that for Halo.
Well,
it just shows that they're growing.
Instead of having to let me go walk across the map to pick up another weapon to drop the weapon for you.
Yes.
You can actually drop sniper.
Yeah, like you have to follow the guy somewhere. Like, oh wait, where's the nearest carbine or DMR or BR? It's over there. Okay,
Follow me to my van. I've got a sniper.
Yeah. Like follow me to this dark alley so we can make this transaction.
But yeah, all in all, I'm very excited for for the next flight and
Dude.
for the release.
I hope I get in, man.
I know. I hope you guys do too, because we can actually play. Me and Maddie tried playing
Thanks.
the Friday night, and we got into a party together. I couldn't load into the game. I think that
Wait.
I was having issues
Oh,
loading
man.
into the game.
Maddie plays games.
Yeah, I mean he's playing late, you know.
Dude, Maddie
Well,
is a
that's-
gamer, bro. He's always playing some random games too, bro. Like he's always on like Sea of Thieves or
Firefight.
something.
Also, I do have to.
Firefight.
I do have to say,
NPC.
I noticed that he commented on our last YouTube video from 2 weeks ago, and I didn't read it until last week after we recorded. He did say his lawyers will be contacting us, and I haven't heard anything. So, Maddie, you might
Hey,
need
I'm
to
just
Not
a
as
guest.
lawyers.
Hey, I'm just a long-term guest, man. Take it
But
up
yeah,
with
we'll
them.
basically we kind of had to change the day we record this for like a month and a half, 2 months. We're gonna try and find a day and time that works where everyone can be on here.
It'll be a battle royale.
Gonna mess the layup out though.
What if we do this, guys? What if we just set it up to where we have a section for Maddie in every single podcast? So we ask a question, we're like, Maddie, what do you think about that? And we all
It's
pause and nod
crickets.
and go. We react a little
We
bit,
react.
and then we start speaking and go, wow, Maddie, that was a great point. And then later on, we were having Maddie record himself, and we just insert it every time.
But we don't. We have him record an answer, but we don't give him the question.
Yes,
That would actually be so funny.
he's just talking about like League of Legends or like Overwatch.
Like,
It'll
oh,
be
that's my
like
favorite
every
flavor.
time.
That's my favorite flavor. Love that agent. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Yeah. This is a lot of fun to talk about
True.
Call of Duty and about Halo. I'm so excited, man. Like we have champs coming up in 2 weeks, 3 weeks,
Yeah.
and more Infinite. I'm ready.
Yeah,
My
hopefully.
body's ready.
Hopefully this month, man. Hopefully I'll take it next month even.
Tweet your topic ideas at us
Yes.
for next
Questions,
week. 'Cause We're
topics.
gonna need them.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a comprehensive breakdown of the Call of Duty season to date,
Combo.
match by match.
I'm gonna be sick.
Just
We're
kidding.
gonna break down every rotation, every first blood.
We're
Every
gonna
kill.
show you how to play Garrison Hardpoint.
Nobody knows how to play that.
I will show them how to play that. I love it.
I do actually kind of enjoy that. All right, thanks for watching and listening, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.